Okay, we should be live. You might want to check
I will double
on the
check.
Facebook stream. And here, while we're doing that, we're going to throw up the ConCast
Okay.
thing. Here we go.
There we
Yay!
go.
Welcome to ConCast, everybody.
It says we're live. There we are. We're live. I'm going to share it. Welcome back. Last week we weren't on here. That was a me thing. I know it sounds stupid for people that watch us that do conventions all the time.
There we are.
But that convention wore me the hell out. So and it's a little different when you're running a con. But man, I'm
sorry, but every year that you do Anime Fest, the people who love anime, it's a rotating group of kids.
Mm-hmm.
All right, emphasis on the word kids. They stay the same age. We keep getting older.
I know. I realized that when we stopped at a vape shop, head shop kind of thing, and we go in there and Christy's wearing her anime shirt, and the guy behind, I say the kid behind the counter, but the guy was, I don't know, 25, and he's like,
he was a vape store age employment, age.
Yeah. And so he's like, oh, you guys, you ever go to the Anime Fest? And they were like, oh yeah, we're some of the people that run it. And so we start talking about anime for a minute, and everything's good. And he goes, you know a lot about anime? And I go, I know a lot about anime in the 80s and 90s back in my generation. But you could hit me with something now. I might be able to help you out. And he goes, what's your favorite anime released this year? And I went,
you evil bastard.
Yeah. I just said, I got a guy for that. I can call him. Because
you pulled a Pawn King or whatever the hell the name of that show is.
Stars. Yeah. Let me call my ex. It wasn't too. It hit you like a brick wall. Like you go to Comic-Con, I can still sit there and talk about comics all day long and all that because that's become my passion. Anime, I was passionate about big in the day, but not so much. It's not that I dislike it. I still love it. You just can't keep up with all the fandoms. There's no way.
No. And the thing is that as humanity increases, more and more, there's more and more little offshoots.
Yes.
All right. There's just, there's more people to get into the minutia of whatever little thing they enjoyed about something. And then there's somebody out there who's going to, either A, try to capitalize on it, or B, who it's also their passion as well. And so they dive into it even further and create a whole new sub genre. It's cool, but it's damn exhausting.
It's even this is a great example behind me. Like as you and I have gotten older and we don't perform quite as much as we did and stuff, we're able to
leave my bedroom out of this.
Yeah. I believe your bedroom might have some of these items, like Star Trek items. We're able to get more into some of that.
Lightsaber takes double D's. What?
Did you say lightsaber? It's a phaser. Don't get them screwed up. All right.
Oh no, she ain't phased at all.
But see that's why like you've been able to do a little bit more with the Star Trek stuff. I've been able to do more with the Ghostbuster stuff. So then the more you do with it, of course, the more time it takes away from other stuff you're doing. And even like the Swashbusters thing we do, Steven got a hold of me and was like, hey, you do pirate stuff, you do Ghostbuster stuff. We should do a whole nother thing that is both those things put together. And then you do it. And it's like we've been doing Swashbusters for years. And we do it because it's fun, but literally it's not even like it's just another thing. It's like combining these geek culture here and geek culture here, putting them together to this one so you could go do stuff. It's almost just creating more fandom that didn't exist before. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah.
More sub genre. It's like the fact, my personal love of the Rogue. In Star Wars, I'm a Han Solo guy.
Yeah.
All right. And I've been recently, muscling my way through all of the old original Star Trek shows again, and I hate to say it, but one of my favorite characters on there is Harry Mudd, that rascal rapscallion Harry Mudd.
Oh, is
And
he the larger kind of bald guy with mustache?
yeah.
Yes, okay. And he's got
And in
the curls
Yeah,
like the
he's got the curl up. Oh, Jimmy boy, don't be doing.
yes.
He's very piratical. And in Strange New Worlds, he's played by the guy who plays Dwight on The Office.
Oh, I no, I could see that 100%. I didn't know he was in Strange New Worlds. That's cool.
Yeah, as Harry Mudd.
Shoot, yeah, I knew him from. He was in the original series, and didn't he make a shot in the next gen, and that was it, or more?
I do not recall if he was in the next gen. I mean, tear a corner off my geek card if you need to there, but I
Yeah,
do
well, I
not
could be very
recall.
wrong there too. And
Yeah,
I should say to anybody watching, on we didn't advertise tonight's episode because it's been a little hit and miss. We're kind of restructuring some stuff because we got guests
yeah.
coming in and we're going to be doing some live shows, which we will talk about. But Ash has got it set up to now. I don't have to look at two screens. I can anything coming off our social media, hopefully, that people want to talk will show up right here on my screen. So if anybody wants to talk or ask questions, throw it up. We'll see.
Matter of fact, whoever's on right now, say hi,
We got
so we know that it works.
Kristen and Megan, and we'll have to see a minute because I'm sure there's a lag. I'd love to test that lag out, but we're still
Okay.
testing some stuff out because we are going to reformat. Like when we redid this podcast, it was kind of a soft reboot in a way where we just decided we want to keep talking and doing stuff. Does that sound right?
It was a softcore podcast. It was done by
Softcore.
Cinemax. Uh,
So now that we've gotten like some festivals out of the way and things going on,
yeah.
we're looking. We've already talked to the Borough. We're looking at doing maybe a once a month live show at the Borough.
Yes.
We can get people because we did the live show at Anime Fest last weekend, and really that was just one of those. It's like we've always kind of done a show at Anime
Hey,
Fest.
Megan. Hey, David. Hey, Kristen. There we go.
Well, see, I'm not seeing them, damn it, but you're seeing them.
They just populated.
Good.
Just boom, boom, boom.
Okay.
All right.
Well, I'm not seeing them on mine. I will
Try
check.
closing that chat thing and open it back up. Did you click on where it said live stream chat?
Did I try turning it off and turning it on again?
Yeah, basically tech support 101.
I clicked the
But did
wrong
you click?
button. I got it. I got it.
Okay.
So, yeah, hi guys.
And then we can send a message to everybody. Hey, all.
I'll let you do that.
Let's see how long that takes to populate as well. There it is.
I
Okay.
think we started doing this podcast at Anime about 8 years ago, and then so we're like, oh,
Yeah.
we need to do one, and then like our buddy Dustin showed up from Kansas City with one of the cosplayers from the Hutch Fest, and Eric
Mhm.
showed up. They used to come to live shows, and it wasn't a huge.
Yeah.
It was one of those where like suddenly we were talking to people in the audience, we are having a good time.
Mac was there.
Yeah, Mac was there, and by the end of the episode, I'd noticed that Ash actually had like notes, and he was ready for a real podcast. And I was like, oh,
Hey,
you're talking to the audience the whole time.
it doesn't hurt to prep. I mean,
No, not at all.
it's better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. You know, the mantra of the porn star.
Yeah, and some episodes that's great, especially if we have a guest. But like that one, I had a real good time with it. So then Ash just went downstairs and talked to the Borough, and they're like, "We'd love to have you guys back there." And so I think that's
Yes.
what them up.
Well, actually, you know, I'm not very good at talking with people, so I've kind of brought it up a little bit. But my social skills are atrocious, and so I did
Your
what
social skills are fine. You're just an asshole. There's a difference.
yeah. And so I did what any smart individual did. I went and got my wife, and she went and talked to the boroughs because we know Jessica is the most personable individual out there. I love my wife. Without her, I would be the stinky old man in the basement apartment. Yeah,
That's that.
totally.
I can say that right away. I can see that pretty easy, actually. But
Yeah,
that's
totally.
all right. So we are going to be doing some live shows. We got some guests lined up already. We probably won't be doing guests at the live shows unless they're local. But we're definitely going to be covering. We're going to be doing an episode on music in the Ren Fair industry. We're going to be doing an episode on running conventions with some directors for sure. These have those are the two I've mentioned to you coming up. That the two I was talking about before the show.
Right.
Okay, making sure you're looking at me confused, so I want to make sure.
No, no, no. I'm keeping things straight in my mind, of all the stuff because we're going to have hopefully the guest next weekend. I
Yep,
mean next week,
next week.
and this week, not this weekend, but the next weekend, we need to do winery stuff.
Yes, I'm all about that too.
We need to transfer and start the new batch, and see, this is us talking about the winery, which means that this podcast is supported by the winery. All right. So that gets us out for paying for the subscription service with the winery. There we go.
So we should jump in.
I make alcohol so I can talk to you online.
I feel like so far, like this is us talking to our friends going, hey, we're changing stuff up, guys. Just, so it's so casual. But we are going to do some geekasms. Got some stuff to talk about. We're going to, since in 2 weeks since we've done a non-on location podcast.
It's been a minute.
Yeah,
we're going
to be doing catch up on a couple trailers. There's a new Deadpool Wolverine trailer, the final one.
Mm-hmm.
Probably do the new Red 1 trailer if you got that one.
I do. I have them both poised and ready to run.
I want to talk a little bit about The Boys tonight. I don't know if you've been watching The Boys at all, Ash, but
the part of me, I want to make a genitalia reference, but yes, I know The Boys.
Okay.
And I haven't been watching your boys, but no, yeah, it's I have not watched it since season 2.
Well, did you not like it, or did just not?
I have a problem where I become oversaturated with the thing way too fast, and then I got to step away. And that's the reason I'll watch something and then I'll step back. And if it gets too popular, I really got to step back because I just can't handle being part of the in crowd. I'm not an in crowd guy.
I have that problem too. That's one reason. Like people see this and all the Ghostbusters stuff, and they're always like, "Oh, that's your favorite movie." Second favorite movie. My favorite movie is Flash Gordon, hands down. And one of the reasons I like it is because so many other people don't. I know it sounds stupid, but that's what got me with my love of Aquaman too. Is I knew Aquaman, what he could do, all the stuff, and everybody just go, "Oh, he's a pussy. Let me tell you why." And I'd be, "No, he's not. Let me tell you why." And then so that hatred of him is what really got me into him. So when somebody popular,
see me, I go more for the intellectually absurd. That's the reason in college my favorite show was Northern Exposure.
Yeah.
And I watched What?
I didn't realize that. That's odd because, like the Burrow, Derek's brother was.
Oh yeah. That's you told me Derek Burrow's brother played Ed.
Yeah. I didn't realize that was your favorite show back in the day.
Oh yeah, we used to every day that I think it was Thursday. Every Thursday that it rolled out, we'd all be sitting around, and the music would start, and we'd all be like, "Cue the moose!" just in time for the moose to walk in on the intro. Oh yeah,
cute.
See, and also the animated Tick, just because that had a lot of cerebral behind it, kind of like Duckman did.
The live action Tick back in the day too was pretty good. I enjoyed that.
Oh, the one with Patrick Warburton?
Yeah, not the new. The Prime one's good, but it's not the same.
No, not the same at all. The Patrick Warburton one, it took me just a little bit to warm up to it. I mean, but I enjoyed the fact that they changed it from Deflator Mouse to oh God, what was the name of the Deflator Mouse?
Batmanuel.
Batmanuel. Yeah. Oh yeah, Batmanuel.
Batmanuel was great. Kristen said I need to catch up on The Boys, but been busy. And it's okay. I think we're only on season 4.
You're driving. What are you doing typing?
She's driving? What?
Yeah, she said she was driving.
Well, with the Boys, this new season's inspired me because it's one of the comic series I hadn't read because I always saw them. They were always in all the dollar bins at Comic Cons, and you're like, oh, I'll just sometime have an extra $30 and buy a bunch of them and read them.
Yeah, buy the whole series.
Yeah, and then now this TV show came out, so there's no sense of that doing.
No.
So this week, as I've been reorganizing and getting stuff put away, I've been watching the online video comics and catching up. And here's what I love The Boys. Great series. Matter of fact, you got a little butcher to you, Ash. I could see it. but the big,
I like Billy.
yeah,
I like Billy.
yeah. Okay, because I was ready to argue this with you and go, no, there's a little there, man.
Yeah, he's got a whole lot of honey badger in him, and I can relate to that.
Yeah. So one of my problems is the same problem I had with trying to remember the show my wife watches all the time. Damn it.
Downtown Abbey,
No, it's one of those.
Bridgerton.
I keep going. You're almost there. It's the premise is great. It's where this girl goes into the past and falls in love with the guy back in like the 1600s Scotland, and
And
she's
then gets burned as a witch.
yeah, almost. uh, my problem with it is they tried to go historical accuracy with it and ended up just making it really really rapey. And I
Yeah.
cannot handle really rapey.
No.
I got an issue,
I
and it
I did
drives
not like that in Clockwork Orange. I did not like that at all. Thank you.
and the boys had a little of that. Uh,
Yes.
and then I read the comic, and the comic makes
And
the show look like it's Sunday school at church. Man, it's a lot
yeah,
easier to watch the show than it is to read the comic.
it's like that new one. What is it? Unbreakable,
Yeah,
Untouchable, whatever the hell it is.
I'm
Uh,
like
Titan,
to do that. Invincible.
Invincible. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. They went a little hard on that one.
not near as bad as the boys though. The boys gets
No,
it.
I'm sorry. It was the very first season, and they had somebody exploding inside somebody else's penis.
I think that was second season, but yeah, I know.
Was it?
I can't
Yeah,
because everything, even Gen V, the spinoff, like the first
yeah,
episode, there's always some drastic, dramatic, like somebody's crawling up somebody's butt and exploding, or in a penis, or there's just something in every episode or every first episode that you just go like, I'm almost glad they went graphic, other than
yeah,
rapey or just
yeah, yeah,
sports, but yeah, there's something like that about everyone. And in Invincible, what they'll do is they'll usually at least one episode will have like one where it's just brutal, like a big fight scene where a ton of people die. They'll do one of those every season. And it's that get your goat with the uh, just the spectacle of it, I guess.
yeah.
But
It's definitely something that would not have flown 20 years ago at all.
oh shoot, David said when you're talking about the boys, are you talking about that manscaping commercial? And sent a link. The temptation to look at the link is big right now. But and Kristen says
Oh,
she's not driving anymore.
oh, good girl. I
But
was
I did want to bring up the boys just mainly because that was one of my things this week of being able to catch up on the comics, and I really, really enjoyed it. Which oddly wasn't my geekasm this week.
really.
My geekasm happened last night. Been so busy the last couple weeks, and um, so last night we took some time. Had my granddaughter was here, and she lives here, so it's But
Yeah.
the internet went out. Matter of fact, I only got it on right before this because we had a big storm here. So I was like, well, what do we watch? Let's just put in a movie, right? And I'm going
Yeah.
through my movies instead of her movies, and realized she had never seen The Princess Bride.
Oh,
I know.
the most perfect movie ever made.
And that's almost how I said it. She goes, well, I don't know, what is it? And I said, it's pretty much
Everything.
yeah, it's got everything. It's got sports, it's got love, it's got
Yeah.
all the whole Peter Falk.
Yeah.
And so I put it in to watch during supper, and I since we were taking it easy, I took myself a mood altering gummy and just sat
Yeah.
back, and my journey on this was to make sure that she was paying attention and catching
Enough
all
to get hooked.
like,
Yeah.
oh, you see, that's Wesley, huh? Yeah, and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And she was on it, and I don't know if it was the gummy or the experience with her or what. As much as I love that movie, just like everybody else, I'm not doing it like, oh, it's
Hmm.
special. It's special to everybody. But I'm watching it, and the whole time, as that gummy's kicking in, I'm like, this movie is so good. Like, it's just so fucking good. I couldn't get past it.
I
And
mean, in my opinion, whoever owns the rights to that, because I realize there's different rights. There's the book
right,
rights. There's the TV rights. There's a blah blah blah. Whoever owns the movie theater rights to that should re-release it for one day every Valentine's Day every year to the theaters.
well, it's actually a good idea.
Just boom, out there, because it is the perfect romantic movie.
See, well, not just romantic. It's a good family movie. You know, you can watch it
Oh
with
yeah,
kids, with my grandkids. We can, as adults, I can just watch it with my buddies, and we still enjoy it.
yeah,
And
and see, and that's the thing is, as a Valentine's Day treat, you could have a Valentine's Day dinner movie with Christy and still take Christina because it's the Princess Bride, and it would be a movie that she would enjoy.
maybe I should do like talk to headshots or do some kind of Valentine's Day geek event. Getting the rights to show Princess Bride would be tough though. But I don't know. That might be.
David says that it is not inconceivable.
It is not.
Well, no, he said inconceivable. I was like, no, David, it is not inconceivable.
um, oh shoot! I keep looking at my phone. I realize I still can look right here, guys. I'm sorry. Um, no, it's so. Of course, that opened up the conversation of because then we're all talking about my granddaughter, my wife, and stuff. And it's nice when my wife's talking my geek stuff with me, and because she loves Princess Bride, and we're talking about you can never remake it
No,
unless you do it with the Muppets. It's the only answer.
the only answer.
It's a tribute to the movie by the Muppets. It's the only way to do it. Other than that, leave it alone. Um, and then the other thing was, I was like,
And playing the part of Peter Falk narrating has to be Pepe.
really, I was almost picturing Sam the Eagle, but I don't think Sam's got enough emotion to pull through it.
No, no, he doesn't. He doesn't have enough. As you wish. No, hey, as you wish. That's got more to it. I'm sorry, Pepe would make a better Peter Falk than Sam.
Yeah, Pepe, his size would kill him on doing an Eagle Montoya, but vocally, he'd pull it off, I think.
That's the reason I think as Peter Falk, as the grandfather,
Yeah,
telling the story to the sick child.
yeah, I could see him doing that. Yeah, of course, Kermit as Wesley and Miss Piggy as Buttercup, and
Well, yeah, just because they are the leads.
yeah, well, and God, why is my mind going blank? Doing
God, can you imagine
as a-
Janice as the old lady going, boo, oh, such boo, man. Like you had true love.
I could see it. Damn it! There's so much. I almost want to. I'm sure somebody has sat down and made a YouTube video of this. But the other part of the conversation that came up too is with all the prop stuff that we like. A lot of us in the con industry, we're all talking about. Oh, hey, do you see that they actually put the Skywalker's lightsaber up for auction? Or something like that, which they didn't. But that kind of stuff. I never see props pop up from the Princess Bride. Like there's got to be a 6-finger glove out there or giant Andre boots or something that people have. But I don't. I
Well,
see
first off,
Star Wars.
I'd have to say that probably most of Andre's outfit is stuff he'd had to bring anyways, because there's no way they could have fit him
Oh,
in most of the things.
they had to make custom made stuff from him. I was actually looking at his boots and I was like, I know that pattern because you see that pattern. It's the tie boots, no buttons, that crisscross that you see at Renfrew all the time. And,
Yeah, I mean, he was standard rat pants. That's all he had on that, because that was the easiest thing to fit in him.
although I never really noticed Wesley's shirt till last night. He's got a beautiful poet shirt, and then there's like a mesh that hangs over the shirt here that is so cool. But
Oh yeah,
anyhow, that's just mainly my ginkasm that Princess Bride kicked so much ass last night, and we all really enjoyed it. And getting to expose my granddaughter to that, realizing she had never seen it, because every once in a while, one of those movies will sneak through that you realize you've never shown your son. Like, oh, I never showed him, the original Star Wars or something.
yeah.
I'm sure there's some out there.
There's always I haven't shown, except for when he was like a little bitty baby. He hasn't seen Heavy Metal.
Oh, yeah. I don't know if I've shown that one to Gabe or not.
Yeah. My wife got mad at me for that one because she walked in and there I was with little Gannon going, "Look, those are cartoon boobies." Yeah.
It's not half as bad as the stuff you're going to see now.
Yeah. No.
Weirdly, that came up in conversation at Arby's the other day. We were at Arby's talking to the manager at Arby's, who's also a geek. I see him at cons and stuff. And we talked about back in the day here in Wichita, the thing to do as a geek, because we didn't have all the conventions. We had some.
Right.
We're comparing what those were. And when I'm saying back in the day, I'm saying like in the 80s.
Yeah, that is back in the day.
Yeah. Well, some
We
people
old.
back in the day, so you're talking like 2011, right? Um, no, but one thing we did have was we had midnight showings of lots of classic movies like
Yeah.
heavy metal, Rocky Horror, that kind of stuff. And I don't know how my dad got away with it, but I don't know. I probably went and watched midnight showings of heavy metal a dozen times when I was in before I graduated, before I even got to high school. You know,
Two things.
yeah,
One, it was different back then.
yeah.
They let you in to see anything. I remember, well, hell, being in high school, going to rated R things like watching the Eddie Murphy, Delirious, and Raw.
Mm-hmm.
Those were rated R. I wasn't supposed to be going into that. Um,
When
I remember as a little bitty kid, because this is how old I am, people. I remember as a little bitty kid in the mid 70s, the very first animated movie that I remember watching at the theater um, was Wizards.
oh yeah,
Yeah, my mom thought, oh, this is great. It's an animated movie. Let's just drop the 5-year-old off and let him go watch it.
I remember.
And yeah, it kicked me and my brother out, and we got indoctrinated to animation through the Wizard.
I had a similar thing, but it wasn't near as I don't want to say bad because it's not Wizards ain't bad. Mine was just that, but with
Psychedelic.
Black Cauldron. And so it was
Yeah,
just little,
Black Cauldron is good dark anime, for the time period.
right.
Wizards is psychedelic dark anime.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they definitely don't mind that Ralph Bashki a little on the adult side, some nudity, some cussing, that kind of stuff.
Oh
So,
yeah, it'd be like going to see Fritz the cat.
God, I haven't seen that forever, ever, ever.
I know.
But
Mine. Okay, so several months ago, I had gotten this book in because I've always been interested in little terrariums and stuff like that. I got in this book, Hello Tiny World, about building little terrariums and stuff. And so my geekgasm is this week, I had found some mosses out at one of my cell sites that were just out in the middle, baking in the sun in 105-degree weather. And I was like, I shall save you. And so I've done everything and put it all together. And I have my own little mossarium, little terrarium with mosses and stuff in it. So I am beginning my little foray into creating tiny little terrariums.
so my next question is, which route is going to be next? Am I going to come in and you're going to have little miniatures of away teams down in there, like dioramas, or
Apparently, you can get all kinds of STL files. I think it's for either N gauge or O gauge, whichever size railroad it is. Plenty of people in their terrariums use railroad figures, for model railways for stuff, and
I
you'll
was
have like the little
joking, and here you
hikers.
are, like I've researched it already. Damn it!
Yeah.
Because the next one was, or am I going to get one that is all just like, hey, I'm growing these mushrooms, okay? And when we're done, we're going to have an excellent episode of,
Yeah. No shiitake, man.
no shiitake. No, that's kind of cool.
Yeah. Well, that and
the wife would be really interested in.
oh, and I was also looking at, because I have these, I want to make some into some inside some light bulbs. I got some big bulbs that I've done out, but I've also gotten these bulbs from some of the tower sites I've been at. These are the old beacon bulbs before they went LED.
Ooh, those are cool.
Yeah, they're really cool. I'd be able to put something up in and have something growing up through here, remove the center part. But I looked up how much these bulbs would cost if you still bought them. Keep in mind, this is a dead one. This one was being tossed. $500 a bulb is how much these things cost.
So that's if you ever resold the terrariums, you could say these are very unique and these,
These are special bulbs.
special bulbs.
I need $14 billion.
I look at that, and the first thing I think of is, oh, that'd go right in one of my steampunk boxes.
Yeah,
I will make something
people.
steampunky about that eventually, and it will.
Yeah, a lot of people look at that and go, "Ooh, that'd make a great bong." No.
Yeah. Let's see. Kristen said, "My geekasm is the new cast announced for Sandman, and finding out Game of Thrones did not fully kill Jack Gleason's love of acting, which is good because man, that poor kid. Um,
Oh yeah, I mean he
considering,
played the part well.
yeah, considering how awful some fans were. Well, she's saying it now too to him because of his role as Joffrey. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I feel bad because I was so excited for that Sandman show coming out, and I've yet to watch an episode. I
I
got
have
to get in
tried.
the mood, and anything that's too dark, depressive, like even the new Crow movie, I'm not getting excited for because I'm like, I remember how the old Crow movie brought me down, you know?
My problem with the Sandman,
Mm-hmm.
because I watched a lot of the first season, and my problem is the Sandman is like if you had ordered the Crow from Spencer's Gifts. All right, he he reminds me of the emo guys off of Letterkenny. All right, the
Oh,
Degens. All right, he does nothing for me. I look at him and I'm just like, wow, you're humdrum. He just emotionally speaking, I don't know. I don't know if it's the actor. I don't know if it's how he's being directed. He just does nothing for me.
see, and I haven't watched them, but that's how I feel about so many comic book movies lately, like Marvel movies and stuff, where it's at, you begged for them for so long, but now you got them, so you feel like you got to be appreciative of them. We have this huge, expansive universe, and then you watch it and you're like, oh, this looks like the last 20 I just watched.
Are
They
you
look
done?
exactly the
No,
same.
we're still talking, huh?
I wasn't sure.
And
Sorry,
we
sorry.
were talking about you, Jess. um,
Well, she can't hear you because it's going through the headphones.
oh,
Here, hold on. Let me.
No.
that's right. All the people
All
watching
right.
you live. So there she is.
All right. Here's the wife.
Hi.
Hi. We were actually. Wow, she can't hear me still, right?
Yes, you can.
We were
I
actually
switched
talking
over
about
to the other speakers.
I was being loud, so we had to put the headphones on.
Oh no,
No.
we were actually talking about you earlier.
Really, was it good or bad?
Everything I
I
said.
think it was before the cameras rolled, so it was good then. We can talk bad now.
Okay,
Okay.
all
All
right.
right.
So,
No,
so
tomorrow,
what was this
4th of
disdain
July.
word? Sorry, what?
What? Disdain? Yeah,
Yeah.
a little bit. No, 4th of July, tomorrow, is Jessica's birthday.
Yeah.
Aw, happy birthday, Jess! Early.
Thank you. I'm gonna blow shit up.
Oh no, the right answer would have been, "I'm gonna blow shit up," and then slowly pan to Daryl, just like that. Just
Hey, he told me that I could go buck wild at the fireworks stand, so I was pretty happy.
oh shoot.
David waved hi at you.
Let's see. Oh, I was thinking, what the hell were we talking about? Actually, right before she walked in. And
We were talking about the comic book movies and
oh
how
yeah,
they
just
just.
yeah, we're talking about
But Kristen said that she loved the Sandman and thinks they did a good job. I mean, and that could be the whole thing, Kristen. It could just be me. It's just a personal opinion.
yeah. Well, and I think I need to watch it because the writing, of course, gets you, but that Sinkowite's kind of artwork that they had in there that always that's what drove me in because it created like this whole atmosphere, and I really like that dark atmosphere. But it looks like they captured that with the show. So, let me hit a couple things before we do get to these trailers. I want to make sure to mention. One was something I was just notified of before the podcast for those people local watching. Our friends over at Wizards Alley, I guess.
Yes, Brian.
Their storage unit got broke into last night.
I saw
No.
I saw that.
They took a lot of early Ditko comics, I guess, a bunch of models, that kind of stuff. They're trying to get security footage put together. So the big thing, I'm just putting it out there because I know some of my friends that end up watching this own, toy shops and comic shops, and I'm sure they're all friends with Bam and them. But if you get somebody coming in with a big bunch of stuff that looks like a pretty decent collection that might have like some of those early Ditkos and stuff, reach out to Wizards. Let them know because that's what it tends to happen when like Prairie Dog or somebody gets broke into. They take it to a pawn shop or something and try to sell it off.
Yeah, definitely reach out to the police as well. If someone's walking in with a nice collection that, it smells a little off.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
definitely reach out to the police.
they did the old standard of got into somebody else's unit and then just busted through the wall, you know. And
Princess high.
so it was just
Well,
sad to see that.
Yeah, but that question is, does that mean that they knew what was in there?
that's what I question, whether
I'm
somebody
wondering
knew
too.
whose storage unit it was.
I'm wondering too, because I won't lie, I'm a very honest guy, and I couldn't imagine somebody breaking in and stealing a bunch of my shit. But one of the first things I thought of is, ooh, where are you keeping all that shit? I would love to go look. You know, it's like I would love to go into their storage unit and see all the cool stuff that they got.
Oh my God, yes.
Yeah, walk out about 10 pounds heavier than I walked in. Pay no attention to me. Yeah,
Oh yeah.
I would love to do that.
Till I get home and I walk away 30 pounds lighter because my wife has chewed so much of my ass for bringing more shit home. Hi, honey. I love you too.
Hey, have her join. Jessica's here.
She's going to pick up the grandchild. Jess,
Oh, okay.
Daryl's
never mind.
guy.
Hi, Jess. Hi, Daryl.
Hi, Jess. Hi, Daryl.
Hi.
Hello.
I have to say, Jess, you are the bomb, diggity bomb bomb, and I love you. Thank you.
You're welcome. I had fun.
So did we. And you were so awesome. Thank you.
She's
Anytime.
she was referring to my granddaughter's Lilo and Stitch birthday party this weekend that just put most of it together for us. So that was
Yes.
super appreciative.
That's what we were talking about of Jessica before the cameras started rolling, is how much she is, goes out there and helps other people.
I had a good time.
So if you need some help with a party planner, she is really good. And I've got your Venmo. Well, I got to get your Venmo number so I can send you that money, okay?
See,
I know where you live.
we just got a sponsor now. It's the winery and Jess's party planning. So,
Yeah.
Hey, don't think I wouldn't do that. I
Rolling
totally
in.
would.
JPP.
all right, we'll see you. Let's see. I mentioned the live shows. I mentioned there's a lot of shit I can talk about from anime and all that stuff. I did also want to mention two shows that we're involved with this year that have made slight changes. One would be Rivers Aunts, which I always bring up. They have added a classic car show to the festival as well. So we've got a Ren Fair, of course, the huge steampunk area. There's the post-apocalyptic area, and now they've added a classic car show for the 10th anniversary. So it's just constantly, it's growing fast enough that even though I'm on staff, it's hard for me to keep up with all the new ideas that are coming across. So
It's constantly evolving.
yeah, and that is one of the guests we'll be having on eventually. We're going to be talking about having guests on from Big River and talking about that for all the special events going on, so that people can get them. Because chances are, if you wait till you get to the festival to get some of the special events, they'll already be sold out.
Right.
And then the other one was Rivers Aunts. We've had a lot of people asking if we're going to Rivers Aunts this year because we missed it last year for the first time in 20 years. And we just had not gotten with everybody to negotiate stuff. Phil, the owner of the festival, called me the other day. We got everything worked out. We are going to be again. We're going to be doing the smoker and everything. And it looks like they're going to keep our good friends, Body Buccaneers, on there as well. So it's going to be a lot of the same, but we're all going to be there together now. So it's going to be a lot of fun. But yeah, we didn't even know for sure if we were going back because it's just been hard to organize and get everybody together and like we used to do up until last year. But want to let people know that too. So that's the first weekend of October in Sioux City, Iowa.
Excellent. Now, Jessica wanted to bring up something.
So Hutch is doing a Hutch Boo Comic Con on October 26th.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's just like one day thing, like 11 to 7. But I got to pop up on because I have Gannon's run 5Ks in Hutch. So now I get all the little like messages from all the things going on. So I got this yesterday, I think.
I was actually.
I sent it to Daryl yesterday.
I was talking to the people at Run That Con just the other day. Because this year we were on the same weekend because it was their first year. And because they struggle so much with the Smallville Festival there, and the city kind of sponsors the events they do. So we at the Anime Festival just this year for the next 2 years, and we're going to see if we can keep it that way. We moved our date. We've had this date forever. We moved it to 1 week later. So next year will be the last weekend of June. That way Hutch can keep the weekend that they have, and we're not all overlapping, and vendors can get everywhere. And they had notified me that they did well this year. They got the city really liked what happened with the Hutch Festival, and that they're going to come in with sponsorship for next year.
Very good.
So they'll be doing 3 one-day conventions as it sits now.
Wow.
So you'll have the one in June, which will be the Hutch MiniCon. You'll have the BooCon in October, which I can't remember the date, whichever you said. And then I think
26th.
Around the 3rd weekend, maybe it was, of March, they're doing a spring one-day Comic-Con as well there. So
are we going to want to do to see if they would want ConCast to be there?
Probably. That's actually, when they first started that convention, that's how I got to talking to them, was they were watching the podcast. And they're like, hey, I love that you guys are doing the podcast. You guys were talking about there might be something going on in Hutch. We appreciate that. We would love to have the podcast there. And I was like, we want to be there, but it's the same weekend as Anime Fest. So I did mention to him the other day, I said, in October, if you guys want us to come there, we'll be there. And I got to
schedule that in. Yep.
That's what I got. So I assume that means yes, but I didn't follow up.
Well, it's very passive aggressive. I mean, did you send him this back?
No, I did not. I tried not to. So, but yeah, that.
For those listening to the podcast, Daryl used a very fun finger right there.
I've been forgetting to do that. For those listening at home, and shit. We should probably hit those trailers because we have just been rambling now, and we're 44 minutes in.
Yes, we have.
No, we came just in time. Trailers.
Okay, which one do you want to hit first?
We're a week old at this point, so you may have seen them. But
I have seen so many movies again lately that it's crazy. I will say, if you haven't seen Inside Out 2, it is more of an adult movie than a kid movie again, but it was pretty good. I'm not going to lie. Even Gannon said he didn't hate it. So for a teen boy, that's not too bad.
I'm a bad animation nerd because I still haven't seen Inside Out 1 yet.
I still haven't seen John Wick 1.
Oh, you got to watch John Wick, dude. I mean, it's nothing but action.
We have to remember that. He hasn't seen either one of the newest Ghostbusters, like the one that just came out or the one that was right before that.
I'll see it when he watches All This Strange New World.
Hey, I've been watching. No, Lower Decks. Sorry, that was the one I was digging. Lower Decks, Strange New World. I haven't watched any of. The main reason I haven't watched Inside Out 1, I started watching it, and everybody says, "Oh, it's so sad. It's so sad." And then I saw one little clip on a YouTube video of this like imaginary friend getting left behind, and I was like, "Yeah, I just can't watch sad stuff anymore. I have such a hard time with it."
This one, you almost don't even have to have seen the first one to understand the second one. So,
and the thing about the second one, the trailers I've been watching, is there's a lot of teenage girl in it, and I raised my teenage girls already, and I'm done with it. So,
those of you who have
teenage... Oh, no, you're not done. You got another one coming up.
I do. I got one more. Dang it. Okay.
I know. You thought you were out of the woods. You were wrong.
All right. Do we want to start with Deadpool?
Yeah, let's start that.
All right. Let's see here.
Final Deadpool trailer, although I'm sure we'll get snippets.
All right.
I'm about to lose everything that I've ever cared about, and I have no idea.
And where'd the audio go? We had no audio there.
Audio on my end.
You did?
Yep.
I'm about to lose everything that I've ever cared about, and I have no idea how to save it. But you do.
Trust me, kid, I'm no hero. This Wolverine let down his entire world.
Well, my entire world needs you. Shake on it. Ah! Nicked it. Just got the tip with your little steak knife. This is what I'm talking about. Big slow motion action sequence. Who knows if you live or die?
Who's next?
Oh my God. Sabretooth.
Ready to die. Wait. Time!
You look ridiculous. People have waited decades for this fight. It's not going to be easy. Baby knife, you shoot the double, you take him down. Side control, then full mount, and you ground and pound till he makes no sound because he's dead.
Shut the fuck up.
Oh my God. Okay, good luck. I'm a huge fan.
Rated R.
Did you guys get audio on your side? Oh, and I got no audio from you now.
Oh,
there you
sorry,
go.
I turned off the mic. I turned off the mic.
Did you get audio on your side?
No.
Oh,
we
I'm
just
so
read the
sorry.
subtitles. I've seen the preview.
Okay. See, I
have a question.
Yeah.
Is that the same guy that they used as Beast in the original movie?
That's the guy that played Sabretooth in the first X-Men movie, but not in X-Men Wolverine or Origins.
Okay.
Matter of fact, somewhere in a whole bunch of shit upstairs, I've got a ConCast interview with that guy because I interviewed him at Crypticon, and real nice guy, real cool guy. But interviewed him, and I never got it uploaded to the ConCast page.
I thought that was who was playing the character. I thought it was the same person.
Yeah.
Well, we can put that on the special features on the DVD.
Ooh.
I still got interviews that I did back in the day, like with the original Chewbacca and Darth Vader and stuff. People that aren't around anymore. Yeah. And some of that stuff never got uploaded because I was sending it to when we were on the Heavy Pork TV show, and I was sending it to Heavy Pork to use in their reels, and so I still have it. We just used it for
you need, even if you don't share that, you need to digitize it, and get it saved up before whatever medium you have it on loses, integrity.
Well, I was trying that last year because a lot of those tapes we used for Scallywag stuff and a lot of those interviews, they say they last about 10 years before they start deteriorating, and that was 10 years ago. So the problem I have now is transferring it because it's got to go 1-to-1 time. And I've got over 70 tapes at over 10 hours per tape.
Oh, wow.
So there's over 700 hours of footage.
And then you have to go through and actually break it into this is this, this is that. I mean, it's not, one tape, just 10 hours of Peter Mayhew. It's broken up with other stuff.
So some of it's just WAG shows. How'd
you get 10 hours on a damn tape?
It's whatever tapes that we were grabbing, those little ones. I can't remember. But yeah, they're about 10 hours per tape. They had adjustments where you could actually get more hours on it, I think.
I wonder if one of those has the lost water fight episode of the Scallywags on it.
I don't know if that's on there. I know we got, because a lot of those were from when we first met Mark and brought him on, and he was our camera guy and not performing yet. So we had a camera guy just following us around filming everything. So I'm sure half of it's shit, but I do know, like at that time I was doing a lot of conventions, a lot of festivals. And every time I went to them, I interviewed,
Yeah.
So,
but that's what B-reel footage is. It's just a lot of shit that if you take it out of context and just use it in the right spot, it's good filler.
Yeah.
It's good stuff in the background. You're doing a J cut or an L cut where you have, somebody's voice going over it. Here, as we were walking down through the glade at such and such Ren Fair, and then you can intersperse it with B-roll footage of that festival.
Well, and I still got some of that digital too. That I did that, like when I did the Vegas show and interviewed Dee Snider and Elvira and all that, and I got tons of B-roll. All that's digital, sitting on an iPhone upstairs, still just sitting on an iPhone because I just haven't done it yet. So
yeah, you need to.
I'll put that on my
list
to do
to the gods of entropy. You need to do that.
Yeah, I bet I've got just shit that we haven't used. I got at least 20 celebrities that we haven't used.
Interesting.
But
is it still coming?
No, it's done.
You want me to go? Oh, it's done already. Yeah. Sweet. Sorry. 3D printer.
Oh, that'd be nice.
Never use that.
My 3D printer that's right here still isn't working. So
still tits up.
I've got to get a professional in, but I've got to the point where I'm done.
I got mine. Well, those kit cards that I had at the AFW.
Yep.
They were so popular. I went through 100 of them in that one day.
See, and that's the thing that bugs me when people go like, "Oh, like Ghostbusters or Star Trek might not fit in anime." It's like people still were interested.
Well, they stopped because they heard me using the F word.
Free.
Oh,
and
I got you.
But no, I would give I'd give out the little Chotskis, and Sean had created flyers, for the Star Trek group, and handed those out as well. So, it was a good little, wave the flag kind of stuff.
I did want to touch on that trailer real quick because we watched it and then we started talking, or I started talking. The Wolverine, I really want Cookie here to watch that because we're both big fans of the Wolverine Sabretooth debate, the fight there. And I'm real glad they brought in that old actor for Sabretooth. I'm sure we're going to see both versions, but I'm real happy to see that. And the simple fact that
I was too.
I think it's good that they showed us before the movie came out because just showing more Ryan Reynolds being smart. Because otherwise, if you waited till the movie came out, then people would start going, oh, well, I wanted to see the other one. So now if they're both in there, it's a pleasant surprise. If they're not both in there, hey, we already told you in the commercial. You knew it,
Yeah. Or they should
it.
just go ahead and make the beautiful thing that they're making and just screw everybody else, just like they did with the first one. Whatever the hell, we're making it. It's going to be great.
Now that Ryan Reynolds is doing interviews, because he wasn't during all the controversy of making the movie, he stayed real low to the ground. Now he's doing interviews. He's like contradicting half of the shit people were reporting. Like all the fights between him and Disney and stuff. He's like, no, they pretty much gave me an open playbook to do what I wanted. There was a couple things that they said not to do, but everything we brought to them, they were totally on board with. So I'm waiting to see after the fact how much truth we got in the pop culture news stuff compared to what actually happened. Because there was tons of controversy behind that movie as it was getting
in one of the interviews he did recently, I want to say in the last couple of days about it, he teased that Taylor Swift might really actually be in the movie.
Well, Taylor Swift was supposed to be in the movie. And I do know some of that, like with her up for playing the 3 parts and all that. I know that was true. Whether the controversy of them telling her she couldn't be in the movie was all true or not, I mean, reliable sources, but you can't tell for sure until shit comes out or until like Ryan Reynolds or Disney says it officially. Everything's a fucking rumor,
True.
And I'm getting tired of rumors and scuttlebutt. I mean, anymore, the rumors and scuttlebutts and leaks and the strategically pre-released leaks and all this stuff like that, they're starting to ruin movies.
It's all part of their advertising campaign now, doing leaks and shit. And which sometimes is good.
It just ruins, it's getting to the point it's ruining movies. It's just not fun anymore.
Well, I'll say, like, I think a lot of this around it, I think Ryan being quiet was probably the best thing in the long run. And, which is something I need to learn to do sometimes. But it's that, between that and the simple fact of, I don't think, like, everything we're seeing in these trailers, I think we're seeing maybe a third of the shit that's going to happen in the movie. I think they're showing us very, very little.
One would hope.
Yeah.
My issue is when they show trailers that give away everything.
Yeah, I hate that. I hate that where it's like, well, I already know the whole plot of the movie. I could fill in the blanks myself.
Yeah, exactly. Or like, my big grief always was with Thor Ragnarok was when they put the Hulk in the trailer. You could tell in the movie that was supposed to be a big reveal.
Right.
That was supposed to be a big reveal. And they went ahead and put it in the trailer. That ruined that big reveal. I mean, they spent a long time building up to it in the movie.
I agree with that. I think part of what the reason they did it is because if you remember before Ragnarok came out, nobody was digging the Thor movies. And I think they were trying, like they were thinking this is going to save Thor. And then as interest was not growing, they were like, we got to give him something. And they gave him too much. And,
Yeah. And see, that's the thing is if they had faith, see, doing that shows me that they don't have faith in the movie. If they had faith in the movie, they would be able to go, no, wait, this is going to catch them floored, and it's going to be like Star Wars when that released. Nobody knew what the hell it was, and then boom.
Well, see, I think
and
Ryan would do
Ragnarok kind of was.
He would sit back and go, we made a good movie. We've done right by the fans. We're good. But I think Disney goes, they don't sit around and go, hey, we're going to try to make the best movie. They go, okay, where can we see the most result financially?
Yeah, where's our profit
Yeah,
margin?
exactly.
Profit. And I get it. It's business. I get that. But, man, I want to see a little passion behind some of that. That's why independent movies and TV shows sometimes are almost the way to go. People are actually passionate about shit. And why I think Ryan with Deadpool's good, because he's passionate. He doesn't need the money. You know, he's...
God, no. I mean, all he needs to do is sell a sports team or a rum. He's good to go.
Yeah.
Isn't he, I think, I mean, I could be, if anybody checks it, let me know, but I think he is one of the richest actors in Hollywood now. Like
Oh, I'm sure.
5, because of him.
You know who surprised me? Who's extremely wealthy, and not just from what he's done, but his investments? Shaquille O'Neal.
Really?
Shaquille O'Neal, through his ownership of things, he owns. I mean, I forget what thing that I watched, but he was just sitting there going, "Oh, you know, such and such, brand and da da da. I own that. That's my brand." All right. Yeah, he owns some really good stuff out there.
Didn't he buy into Papa John's? I thought he owns part of Papa John's now when he became a spokesman.
Well, let's see
I
here.
think so. He's also a spokesman for something else too.
A lot of stuff
that I saw.
General insurance. He does all sorts of stuff. But I was thinking, because I remember thinking, okay, good spokesman.
Here we go.
Yeah, here we go.
He owns Lyft. He's a part owner of Lyft, JCPenney, Gold Bond, Icy Hot, the General Insurance. You know, those commercials for the General.
I knew he was a spokesman for General. Yeah.
Forever 21, Reebok,
and Barney's.
He owns
Barney's New York, and there's more.
But wait, there's more.
These are things that he has owned or invested in.
Yeah, or part owner of. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's tons of things.
Five Guys, Papa John's, 24-Hour Fitness, Krispy Kreme, Big Chicken Restaurant, Auntie Anne.
Ian's Pretzels.
Yeah.
God.
Car washes, and he owns the celebrity likenesses to Elvis, Marilyn Monroe, Muhammad Ali, David Beckham, and Julius Erving.
Mm-hmm.
You buy that from the family? How the fuck do you own the celebrity likeness?
Yeah. You have to buy it from their family. Ooh, he's also part owner of Ring.
That baffles me, because you go Marilyn Monroe, Elvis, they're icons, and Shaq owns their likeness.
David Beckham. He's still alive.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a good soccer player, too.
No, he plays football, honey.
Oh, sorry.
It took me half a second.
It depends what country you're in.
He plays for the U.S. now, or he did for a while. I don't know if he still does. I watched a soccer game, and I don't know how long.
Yeah. All right, let's go ahead and do this other one.
Oh, yeah. What else are we watching?
All right, we are going to do a red one. Let's share.
$497, $498, $499, $500.
Let's go heavy. Got it. Looking strong, Nick.
Go on, brush your shoulders off.
Red one is on the move.
Evening, ladies. What are you so excited about? Of course, your boyfriend's here. Okay. Who's with Red?
Reach! Someone took Nick. We're gonna find him.
I'm bringing in Jack O'Malley. He's probably the best tracker in the world.
Where's Lou?
You guy's a legend.
He took candy from a baby.
Sometimes you got it.
He's on the naughty list.
Last night, Red One, also known as St. Nicholas of Myra, was abducted from the North Pole complex.
Are you saying Santa Claus has been kidnapped?
Garcia?
What the hell?
You can't trust this guy. He's on the list.
It's a walking rug.
That list. NL4. Are you telling me this clown is a level 4 naughty lister?
A level 4 naughty lister?
Oh, is that funny to you?
Hey. You're gonna help us find Nick.
Come on, let's go.
He looks like he's from Jumanji.
Grab a car. For what?
You don't ever wonder.
I want that power.
Do you? It's not how it works. Come on. There is much in here that is not of the natural world.
Who's that?
Krampus. What's he doing?
This is a way longer trailer than I saw the first time.
Krampus Schwab.
Like, if you don't need me here, I might just go back to the car.
We need to prepare for the possibility of no Christmas.
There's worse ways to go out than trying to save Santa Claus. We got snowmen! That was so disturbing.
Yes, it was. Why did it look like Godzilla was in at the end?
Interesting.
My turn!
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Is my face still there? Yeah, you look.
I think we found our new Christmas movie.
Did he say, is my face still there?
Yes, he did.
Hold on, let me stop.
I know that one's not totally like convention based or anything, but it's so pop culture based that I thought it just looked like good, stupid fun.
It does.
Looks good.
It looks good, and you know, and what do you want to bet? It's either Jack Frost as the bad guy.
I wondered that. I wondered if it was a mutated version of Krampus, but it looked like they made Krampus too likable already.
Yeah.
Maybe they're going to bring in. Maybe they're going to bring. Well, Krampus's whole thing was just he was Santa Claus's right hand man. Santa Claus was doling. You had to have a little bit of sugar to go with the stick. Santa Claus was the sugar. Krampus was the stick. All right, they work together.
Daryl to be a Krampus guy.
I was going to say
this fits so much.
It does.
Who grew up in Germany? That's right.
Yeah.
This guy did.
Well,
Sorry,
it's got a lot of good actors in it. It looks like it's going to be dumb, but luckily they've got Chris Evans in there to point out all the. Like, I like that he's just pointing out, like, this is ridiculous, right?
Yeah.
Everybody else is taking it deadpan serious.
He's the voice of reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, this has a good right after you ate Thanksgiving dinner weekend kind of movie to it.
Yeah,
There you go.
Very much.
You spent all your time with your family. Now you need some laughs.
And I'll be honest, I'd been getting some Rock overload. Like, I don't have anything against Rock, but it was like, hey, he's in a lot of shit. You can back off a little bit. And then I saw this, I'm like, oh, okay, give me a little more Rock. I can take it. You know,
It's funny.
Yeah,
he was definitely turning into the oh god, now I can't think of his name. Samuel L. Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
a little
All
bit
right.
and everything, playing the same.
Yeah, for a while there, like you were like, okay, Mr. Jackson, you don't need to take everything. Some of these are real freaking stinkers, and you don't need to say yes to everything. Do you owe somebody? Is that what's going on? Is there a debt that we don't know about? Do we have to help you get your child back? Let us know. We will help.
I think we had that discussion one time. Like, who does he owe in Hollywood that's just like cashing in for everything they got?
Yeah.
Like, he's going, if I just keep going, I'll get that one big hit.
Yeah.
I had 40 already, man. Come on.
Yeah,
Right?
exactly. I mean, you're diluting the product here, man.
And again, nothing with Rock. He could have a little more range because, like, he plays the same character in a lot of stuff, but it's a good character. It's a character I like. It's the same character over and over. Even when he plays a bad guy, he's still kind of the Rock, you know?
Yeah.
Well, and that's the thing. You have certain actors who they just play themselves. I mean, Sean Connery, the only Russian sub-commander with a Scottish accent.
Well, I thought you were going to bring up his Scottish accent as a Spaniard in Highlander, or
there as well.
or his Scottish accent as a British guy in, or no, it was
as James Bond.
Yeah, that's what you're talking
James
about.
Bond, or then in League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, he was an American guy, right?
No, he was not.
Supposed to be.
No, he was Alan Quartermain.
Alan Quartermain, who's British, right?
The British. The American was Tom Sawyer.
Oh yeah, okay.
But still, it's the Scottish accent with every other name.
Oh yeah. I mean, but so you have him doing that. Eventually, everybody just came to love him so much that Samuel L. Jackson is just Samuel L. Jackson now.
Yeah.
Jack Black is just Jack Black. All right, and so that's what's become of The Rock. The Rock, to the point. I mean, who was it that pointed out the fact that Dwayne Johnson did the bit of professional wrestling so well. All right. And he was so good at being that professional wrestler that even decades after he quit doing it, the entire world knows him by that, that professional wrestler bit.
We're calling him The Rock now.
I mean, right now. I mean, and if you say The Rock, everybody knows, what we're talking. Nobody sits there and goes, "Oh, the
movie,
the movie with Sean Connery
playing a British guy."
God,
that's another one.
We could have tied that right in.
He was a British guy in that. Damn it. Okay, yeah. But yeah, and it's okay because there's like if I go see Bruce Campbell in a movie, I want to see Bruce Campbell. I want Bruce Campbell. I want that fucking same. I don't want him trying to be fucking Abe Lincoln. Unless it's Bubba Hotep, and then he can be Elvis all day. But
and that was what I loved. I mean, one of the few things that I loved about Escape from L.A. was as soon as he spoke, you knew that it was it was him. And just like what was it?
I didn't until after the movie. Somebody told me, and I was like, "Holy crap, that was Bruce Campbell."
Oh yeah,
I can't believe.
As soon as I saw him, I was like, oh, Army of Darkness. I knew it immediately. And just like Tim Curry in Legend.
Oh god!
As soon as the devil smiled, I was like, "Fuck, Dr. Frankenfurter."
See, that's another one. But then again, I watched Legend. I watched Legend before I got into Rocky. I'd seen Rocky, but I was younger and wasn't into it. So, but I was into Legend. And then when I was in high school and got into Rocky, then, anything Tim Curry was in was...
Yeah, it was golden.
Play the Kevin Bacon game with Tim Curry. I was real good at that. You can connect Tim Curry to anybody with 3 actors. So...
Oh, I saw A Quiet Place this week, too,
the first one?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. I'm trying.
It was good.
It fits in with that, how I can't watch sad movies. And The Quiet Place really did that to me. But it was really like the first one, the kid. But it was really good, and I really want to watch the new one, Day One, but I got to get her caught up, and I don't know if I'm going to get her caught up.
We liked it. Gina and I went and saw it last weekend, maybe I think. So
speaking of scary movies and intellectually funny things that I enjoy, this is tying everything back around. You know how I like to make everything go in a circle.
Sure.
It's the circle of life.
Like it's I got you.
I was just showing Jessica because she had seen a news article about the new Universal Studios.
Oh yeah.
About how they are having a new section that's all going to be horror themed.
Yes, they're putting in a horror park.
And
they own all the classic horror monsters.
Yes.
Oh, yes, it's like Swamp Thing and Wolfman and all of that stuff.
And I showed her an excerpt. I showed her because you know how I like Chad the Bird, right?
Wait, Chad the Bird.
The guy with the puppet, the bird.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, sorry.
He did a thing about it.
He had a bit about the new Universal thing, and I was showing that to Jessica, and it is very, very funny. And I really love Chad the Bird.
That's weird too, because we were just talking about Universal Studios this week. Because Christy and I had watched a foodie guy we watch had done the food of Universal Studios, and it had been many, many years since I've been there. And I was looking at everything that was different. So I was like, oh, when we were there, keep in mind, when we were there, they were filming Back to the Future 2 and 3 at the same time. That's how long ago that was. And then my cousin just went this week. So we were sitting in Dylan's talking about all the differences that they've added, the new things and stuff. And he didn't mention anything about Universal Monsters, but that would really get me.
It's not open. I want to say it opens like October, maybe.
That would make sense.
It's like, yeah, I want to say it's October, but he played me that. And of course I took a deep dive in the rabbit hole and was like reading all about the parks and all the stuff they're going to do. And they're going to have like themed bars and everything. And
let me see. I'm not sure if I can put this up, but we're going to try.
I was going to...
The Chad the Bird excerpt.
Just an excerpt from it.
the Wolfman, Dracula, Bride of Frankenstein, basically everything they fought in Monster Squad, and given them their own park 24/7. You go in through Darkmoor, in which you'll, quote, encounter the characters and subjects of Frankenstein's experiment theme park environment. You'll ride the Curse of the Werewolf coaster. And at the center, Monsters Unchained, which is not an OnlyFans page, but it should be. It is, in fact, a haunted house ride coaster thrill experience where you're going to escape Frankenstein's whole-ass castle. There's a vampire-themed steakhouse. Get it? Fuck you! Monster makeup lab for kids and a tavern with a flaming windmill outside. And, like, I don't know how they managed to make drinking with an incensed pitchfork mob sound fucking rad, but it does! The windmill is on actual fire! The ultimate thrill of being a misunderstood monster and chased by villagers burning down the countryside while avoiding vampires and werewolves, all with access to rides and animatronics. Are you not entertained? Scratch that. Are you not rock hard with excitement for the possibility of summer thrills of careening through a Spirit Halloween on a Roger Corman, Vincent Price, Boris Karloff, Hot Topic goth roller coaster opening next fucking year? That's it, next year. Where are my horror kids at? You want to spelunk into a blacklight activated nightmare where it's Fright Fest, Halloween Horror Nights, and Not Scary Farm all the fucking time?
That already sounds better than Disney World to me.
I know, right?
And that also makes me just want to see him and Randy Feltface get together and do it.
I don't know if the universe could handle that. The implosion of those two puppets.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they should have been the ones that did Happy Street Murders.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be a shift in the space-time continuum there.
Yeah.
Some Mandela effect in some other universe right now. They're saying, imagine if we hadn't had that. You know? And,
yeah.
Well,
if only they hadn't done that to us.
Yeah.
No, that really kind of excites me. I like that idea. I wonder if it's in line with, because I'd heard rumblings, I don't know if there's any fact behind it, that they were looking at going ahead and trying to do the Dark Universe movie, shared universe again. Because they were doing that a couple of years. Yeah, so Universal had decided they were going to launch the Dark Universe shared movie deal. And it was going to have the Mummy, new Dracula, new everything. So, like, if you watch the Tom Cruise Mummy movie.
So, you had mentioned that. Yeah.
Was the
so it was going to be.
And that bombed so bad.
Every one of the serials was going to be represented.
Right. Mm-hmm. And so, like, you even saw, I haven't seen the Tom Cruise one, but supposedly that, my mind's going blank, that was going to play the Wolfman was in it. Del Toro.
Benicio del Toro.
Benicio del Toro.
Yeah, he was in it, I think, or something, or made a cameo. And so they already had everybody cast. They had it all set up. And then basically that Tom Cruise movie came out, and he can
ruin a lot of good stuff. Just look at all of his marriages.
Yeah. Well, and they say he pretty much did, because in his contract, they wanted him so bad, and he got to rewrite like half that movie. And they say that pretty much Tom Cruise put a stop to that. But I've heard rumblings lately that they're going to go ahead and go on with it and just do a different Mummy movie. Still same universe, that still happened. It's all still there, but they'll just end it all with a different Mummy movie, and they're going to go like right into, I think, Invisible Man or something like that. But I don't know if there's any truth to that.
Well, yeah, I mean, you'd have to take a look at, Tom Cruise's contract, because he's the kind of schmuck that would have written it in that he gets to play the Mummy no matter what, for all future iterations of this, world. And so that could really screw it over. The only thing that might help is the fact that I believe the concept of the Mummy is in public. What do they call that?
Public domain.
Public domain. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they couldn't sit there and go, no, it's ours. It's kind of like, the iteration of the Disney princesses that we see, are not the same ones that were in Grimm's fairy tales.
Of course not. Yeah.
Yeah. It's completely different. I mean, what was it? Cinderella didn't, wake up. I found this one out. The reason that Cinderella asleep.
You're thinking Sleeping Beauty, maybe? Or
no?
Okay, because
Cinderella.
Okay.
It was no. You're right. It was Sleeping Beauty. Sleeping Beauty with the finger on the spinning wheel.
Yep.
And she gets a little sliver in there. And with Disney, Love's True Kiss wakes her up. Yada yada yada. All good. Now, original Grimm's fairy tale. Prince comes along on a hunting trip, finds the abandoned castle, then all the brambles, goes in, finds her suspended animation sleeping there, stoops her, rapes her in her sleep, leaves, she gets pregnant, all right? The children are born, and one of them, needing nourishment, starts to suckle on her finger and pulls out the splinter, and that's what wakes her up.
See, and
That's the original Grimm's
I
fairy
know
tale.
there's different versions too of all these. I thought in the original it was actually the king that had done it because there was a significant age gap there too. But I could be wrong. With the Cinderella one, like the sisters to fit in the glass slippers.
Oh yeah,
they were like cutting their toes off and stuff and doing everything they could.
One chops her toes off, the other one cuts off her heel.
Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah, and of course the prince is so stupid. This is inbreeding for you. He's so stupid he doesn't realize it's a different girl until he notices the blood coming out of the shoe. Oh, something might be wrong here. Apparently this man was straight up, had a foot fetish. I don't know if he was like, God, what's the director from Pulp Fiction?
Oh, Tarantino.
Yeah, I don't know if he was Tarantino's great ancestor or something because he's got a foot fetish too.
Yeah,
but yeah, it was bad.
At least he keeps his foot fetish on screen with adult women. Not like what's that dude from Nickelodeon that's got the bad rap?
Oh, I had it on the tip of my tongue and now I forgot.
Oh, they just did the big documentary. I don't know if you guys saw that. He was
no.
Oh yeah, it's Dan Schneider. Dan Schneider,
right.
who created like all that, the Amanda Show. I mean, he pretty much created Nickelodeon television. And there's a great documentary called Quiet on Set that talks about the abuse and stuff that happened with the kids. But there was definitely a foot fetish this guy had. And you just look it up, like Ariana Grande, she was on the show, and they would have her doing all sorts of overly sexualized stuff for a 12-year-old girl. And they had almost every female character on all those shows doing stuff with their feet continuously, like dipping them in peanut butter or pouring syrup on them. Or, yeah. And you look at this shit now, not through a kid's eyes, but through an adult's eyes. And it's pretty rough.
That is rough, man.
Yeah. Yeah. So at least Tarantino keeps it, it's just a fetish.
Consensual.
Yeah, he keeps it.
Yeah.
Or where it could be consensual because they're old enough.
They get to read the script beforehand.
Yeah.
Kids, it was like, get ready.
Their parents don't read the script first and go, okay, we can live with this. Go ahead.
How much are they getting paid? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we've been on.
Oh, check this.
Hour and 20.
All right, this was an interesting fact that we found out the other day. All right, the whole there's the whatever the act is that protects child actors. I forget what it's called.
Oh,
but there was this.
They can only work so many hours, that kind of stuff.
Well, no, and their money protects their money because there was this one kid way back in the day worked with Buster Keaton and all the stuff like that, and was a hot item for like 10 years, and he worked his butt off. And then when he turned into his 20s and tried to go and get his money out of the bank, it turns out that his parents had spent every damn dime that he had worked for, and he had nothing. All right. But this is I'd heard about that, and I'd heard about him. I did not realize later on he was the original Uncle Fester.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Really?
What was his name?
Yep.
Okay, now I got to look it up.
Yeah, that act, whatever it is named after him. It's Uncle Fester.
I'm going to look that up. I had no idea Uncle Fester worked with Buster Keaton. I love Buster Keaton.
I think it was Buster Keaton worked. He was big with those silent film stars.
Yeah.
Jackie Coogan.
Yeah, the Coogan. The
Coogan act. That was it.
Yeah, Jackie Coogan.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. Yeah, I'll look that up too. That's cool.
Yeah.
See, I like doing the podcast where I learn shit and it's like, I got to look up now.
I didn't even go through any of my news articles.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, we were just rambling. I still had some stuff to talk about too, but that's all right.
Yeah, we're 20 minutes over our hour.
Yeah.
Did you guys do your gasm yet?
Yeah, I did. I showed him the terrarium.
You showed him the terrarium. Ooh, the terrarium went off.
Yeah,
we're about ready
timer.
to hop off, but why don't you hold it up so Christy can see?
Oh, yeah.
because
We'll have to make
my wife
one,
would like
Christy.
that stuff, but
You'll want one.
It's a little mossarium.
Oh,
Is it cute?
That is cute. That's adorable.
It's just starting off. That's some moss I rescued from around a cell tower. It was just out there baking in the sun, and I was like, "No, little friend, you're coming with me." And I broke out my pocket knife and threw it in the truck and went over to Casey's and got a cup and put some water in it, and it's doing okay.
Well, we can just
my
Beetlejuice
geekgasm
now.
was us getting to watch Princess Bride with Christina.
That was fun.
That was
Really.
Aww.
it was her first time watching, and she loved it. So the problem is she's of that age now of like, when's the next one coming out? Kind of, it's like,
Oh no.
Yeah.
There's the next one, baby.
yeah. So
No, I don't think
see.
so.
Jessica wanted to know Beetlejuice films, Beetlejuice
When does the new one come out?
2
It's, like,
release date.
really soon.
I thought it was October.
September
I don't
6th.
know.
No.
September.
Not soon enough, damn it.
September 6th.
I do want to see that, yeah.
Okay, so I had something that made me geek out the other day. Christy, did you ever have one of those like stick 'em board things, like the clingers things?
Oh, of course.
Where you used to get the
Uh-huh.
they
have
had
some
a
of those
Beetlejuice
upstairs.
one, and it was like based on the cartoon series,
For what?
and it had like all the Beetlejuice stickers
Oh.
and stuff in it. I was like, look at that. I was so excited. I bought it for myself. I was having a moment. I was like, I loved clingers when I was little.
How fun.
I know. It was at Walmart. I thought it was so cute. I was like, oh, mine.
There's nothing like having middle-aged money with middle-aged nostalgia, says the man with Trek models.
I was gonna say I said that earlier when I was like, yes, don't let me lose some Dollar Tree with a credit card.
I've got a vintage Spider-Man and Fantastic Four clinger set upstairs right now. That
See, so you know my love of clingers.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hobbytown just got in a whole new batch of new models, so I was there day one, pawing through to see if they had any new Star Trek models. They had one that I wanted, so I bought it.
no ectos or anything for me, huh?
I didn't check that crap.
I was standing up for Star Trek.
Terrible
this week.
Tell you what. If they're open, I'll go tomorrow and look for you.
You're okay. You're okay. No, somebody had brought
They're
up.
not open. It's the 4th.
They were,
I was gonna say, twist his arm to go to the freaking hobby store, John.
somebody had brought up some Star Trek jokes or something because I'll correct it.
Oh yeah, they're great.
It's like I generally don't hate Star Trek. It's just something Daryl and I every once in a while will say, and
Banter back and forth.
banter back and forth. And so
You were just happy that finally, after knowing me for 15, 20 years, you have finally found out what my geekdom is, and now you're tearing into it.
Oh yeah. Oh, the all the years I get from all my friends of, dude, you spend a little too much time with those comic books or something. Now I can go, no, you have that same disease that
I do.
Yeah,
It's just a different
I do.
variant.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just you finally found out my dark little fetish secret. But I like you was raised in the time where it was actively
frowned upon.
Yeah, actively frowned upon to be any kind of geek. So it still feels weird. It feels like I'm coming out of the geek closet.
Randall and I have this talk a lot about, and I know this is the hipster geek in me coming out, but like back in my day, like when I was in high school, if you collected comic books, that's what kids do. Kids collect comic books,
Oh yeah.
There was no big, like, everybody's wearing Spider-Man shirts. Matter of fact, and this is something Randall and I talk about a lot, back in those days, if you saw somebody with a comic book shirt like Spider-Man or Star Wars even, or just any Wolverine shirt, especially something that wasn't as mainstream, you went across the street and you started talking to that person because you're like minds. Now you go to Walmart, everybody's wearing a fucking Spider-Man shirt,
Back in the day, society wanted you to go across the street to kick their ass and give them a wedgie.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah, I used to get, some of my friends would make fun of me. They'd be like, well, back in high school, I was getting laid and shit while you were collecting comics. And it's like, well, yeah, but now I got comics and I get laid. Where are you at?
Yeah.
I mean,
You kidding me?
Best of both worlds.
yeah.
You realize what is better? What is better? Just a standard, normal, a girlfriend or a freaky geek chick?
Yeah.
All right.
Oh,
There you got it. I mean, and if you throw in some father issues on top of it, beautiful.
You don't know how many times I've been at like Planet Comic Con or something on stage, or doing something, and you got that little celebrity status going, and then somebody, and you've seen this too, like even at Ren Fair, where somebody will bring their kids up, and I might vaguely recognize them or something. They'll be like, "Hey, yeah, your dad used to go to high school with Little Beard, and we all went through comic books together and everything." And you gotta sit there and you gotta go, "I remember you giving me shit about collecting comics. I don't remember you ever cracking one open." You don't say that. You go like, "Yeah, we went to high school together and we talked comic." You say it all for the kids. But I've had that a number of times where it's like, "No, you were the motherfuckers that always said that was for little kids and thought we were nerds."
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Tried to belittle me.
Yeah, yeah. But gives you that little bit of power of like, "Oh, I can say something bad in front of you and your kids, but no,
nah,
You're
it's
just
not worth
it's
it."
all
person.
good." Yeah.
Although I do have to say, it did make me feel really old at Anime Fest. The number of people that came up for the free tchotchkes, that I was giving away, and then when we'd give them the little pamphlet, they'd go, or with the tchotchkes, they go, "Oh, I'm going to give this to my dad. He likes Star Trek.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to give this to my uncle or whatever. They really like Star Trek." So it was always like, I'm going to give this to an old fucker. All right.
Yeah.
I had that old moment at Anime Fest where I'm standing on stage talking to Frankie, and we're watching one of the dance troops that we had set up, and they're out there just doing wild K-pop dance stuff and stuff that I couldn't do, and I'm like, I look at Frankie and I'm like, I couldn't do that. I'm too old. Matter of fact, just watching them do it makes me feel old, and he goes, "It makes you feel old, makes me feel old," and he's like 30, and
Yeah.
oh, what makes me feel real old is half of those girls down there dancing are like 25 years old, roughly. We're at our 20th year of this event. I watched most of those girls grow up, and now they're out there doing this. And I said, those girls out there dancing, doing this shit makes me feel old. And as I said it on fucking cue, because I even went and talked to this girl afterwards about it, she does this little like drop down move and then jumps back up. And she goes, "Oh, I'm so old," and then walked to the side.
No.
Just talking about watching you do this made me feel old. That like
It's like that.
an old sandwich, just with me in the middle. I hate it.
It's like that one line from Basketball, where the two announcers are sitting there watching their cheerleaders, and one of them goes, "It's hard to imagine, that just 8 years ago this sport was played in basketball courts, played in driveways around the country." And the other one goes, "It's hard to imagine that just 8 years ago these girls were in grade school." And I'm just like, oh, that's creepy.
See, I envision you two as like those old dudes that were sitting up in the balcony.
Waldorf, Statler,
and Waldorf. Yes, thank you.
That's the nerd we are. We knew exactly who they are.
Yeah, I knew you guys would know. Couldn't think of their name, but I knew you'd know who it was. Yeah, you guys are going to be doing that, only a little more high tech with podcasts.
They are the second acknowledged gay couple in the Jim Henson
universe.
Muppets.
Is it Bert and Ernie?
The first ones would be Bert and Ernie.
Yeah. I could see that.
To not throw a damper on that between Daryl, me, Big Tim, even Mark and stuff. But a lot of times, like when we're in St. Louis, I just send Daryl and Tim up to the top of the ship when we were doing Last Huzzah, and they would sit up there and do the, "Hey, can you guys sing tenor? Tenor 20 miles that way." And they would do the whole Statler and Waldorf thing during the whole show.
We had printed off a whole bunch of them and had them all, ready. We would be up there with, "Okay, you do this one, I'm going to do this one." Yeah. Kind
of miss that.
That makes me miss you doing that.
I miss the actual act of doing it. I do not miss everything around doing it.
I have said
someday,
because I'm still doing it, and I still love doing it, and I love doing it. But what people don't understand, and I feel like we could do a whole podcast about burnout on this shit, but what people don't understand is there is a lot of work, not just writing shows and getting up there and the pressure of last minute things thrown in, but even like getting the other guys on board, making sure who's riding with who, just all these little things that pile up. And then somebody's pissy about something that is stupid, and you're like, "Oh, just kiss their ass. We got to get through the weekend without having any problems because we got to do good. Bitch about it on the way home." And that kind of stuff, you get real burned out. And then even like the Statler and Waldorf stuff, even back then, sometimes we do that stuff because it's like, "Oh, another last huzzah. This will be the 45th one this year. Can we do something different?
Yeah.
Ideas. And I think when we started doing some of that, like Jim Henson, because we'd written the, I think you were there for this when we did the Muppet Show song, but it was This Is the Last Huzzah.
Mm-hmm.
We did that, and then that day is also the day Jim Henson passed.
No.
Wasn't it?
No, because Jim Henson passed when I was in the Marine Corps.
Oh.
So that was early 90s.
Well, I know I was in... No. Oh,
Yes.
it was his birthday. That's what it was. It had to be his birthday then.
Something like that. But yeah, here, we'll just type it in right
I was going to say, when did Jim Henson... yeah, Jen and I were talking about burnout of certain things at Renaissance festivals on Sunday.
May 16th, 1990.
Mm-hmm. God. Yeah, so it definitely wasn't the day he died. It must have been either his birthday or the anniversary of the day he died.
Yep.
I
remember it because I was I heard the news. It was like, those people like, where were you when JFK was killed? Where were you in 911? I remember where I was when I heard Jim Henson died. I was standing in line to get my paycheck cashed at on base, and someone told me, and it just ruined my entire damn weekend. I was like, oh man, I don't even want a hooker now. Damn it. Yeah.
Gotta have goals.
I've had a couple of those. Like I remember right where I was when George Romero passed away.
Yeah.
I remember where I was. 9/11 and a couple.
Okay, now we're doing the old guy stuff.
Yeah.
You need to stop that.
Yeah.
All right.
Easy enough.
So one of the things that we've done in the booth in KC to not make our day monotonous, we have Ren Fair Bingo, and we change the cards every weekend.
I've seen some of that. We used to do Ren Fair Checklist, which was kind of the same thing. One of the big ones was when Pirates of the Caribbean came out. And we got all the 10 million Johnny Depp impersonators. And
oh yeah,
a lot of people, what they didn't realize at the time is Johnny Depp was kind of like pirates back in the 50s and 60s in movies, even the 40s, where you'd get the "arg" and "shiver me timbers, matey," all the shit they never said.
Yeah,
pirates didn't act like Johnny Depp either. They didn't go around saying "savvy."
Yeah, all that.
Doing the same.
If you want to see a real drunk pirate, you need to watch Yellowbeard, Stagger, Roll.
One of my favorite pirates, Roman Polanski's Pirates, Walter Mitty.
I believe I still have your VHS downstairs.
Again, showing our age, damn it.
But no, matter of fact, I remember that came out about the time I joined on full time with the Scallywags. Was when that Pirates of the Caribbean came out, and then remember going to that god awful pirate school.
We'll save that for another episode because that's something we can tell.
Oh, some of the God, we tore into them recently. We tore into them.
Yeah, you tore into them real good. Like
I had all I could stands and I could stands no more.
I was still on that I'm making a career of this, and I got to still kiss everybody's ass a little bit, but I got to stay stern and stuff. And there's a lot of shit I wanted to say and didn't have the balls to. And then Daryl gets on stage and starts saying it. And about the time you said, not half as long as the shit you've been spewing out, I was like, yeah, we're the studs of the room right here. Yeah. Anyhow, another story for another time. We should get off, and it's time to eat supper, and we've gone over half an hour.
Thereabouts.
So we got more stuff we can talk about next week, but next week we should have a guest on. I'm not sure which guest for sure. I got to confirm that before I talk out my butt on that.
Okay.
But yeah, we'll have a guest next week, and then hopefully start looking out, because as soon as we get the date set up, we'll be doing hopefully once a month at the Borough.
Yeah, we just need to actually have a sit down, a palaver with them and say, okay, with our schedules out in front of us, okay, these are the dates that we're good for. How about you guys? And we need to nail it down like we used to do, and then make it a thing so we don't weasel out like we seem to have such good track at doing.
Well, and doing making sure our friends, local friends, because I've talked to some of the local friends, and some people do it every week. Other people are like, how about once a quarter? It'd be a lot funner to get, because we usually go out to dinner afterwards and stuff or something. But
I think once a month is not a bad idea. I mean, and reasonable. I think and that just seems like a good thing is once a month. Yeah, and because then you were not because I remember that the Burrows used to set up for us every damn week, and I don't want. I always felt bad about that. I mean, I realized when we were going strong, it got lots of traffic into their place, which was good for them. But I always just felt like they so bent over backwards.
I felt like
for
we
us.
got more of that relationship than they did.
Yeah.
And they're always like, "We'd love to have you in." Okay.
Yeah, I always felt like a user in that relationship. And
I liked going up there. I like seeing them and talking to them and seeing all our friends. So
yeah.
But so look to that in the future. I do not have my list.
All right,
so
you lock down who we got next week, and that way we can go ahead and put it up and advertise.
Sounds good.
And then and I'll go ahead like I normally do. I'll package this up. I'll put it up to YouTube. Maybe next week we can also live stream to YouTube as well at the same time. And then we can go ahead, and I'll put this up on LibSynth as well, so we have the audio podcast up there as well. Should I be sharing a link to that onto the ConCast page?
Yes.
I would think. I don't even know how everybody's listening to
I'll do such
anymore. I have my podcast I listen to, and
yeah, and it's not ours. Understood.
I hear all of them when I'm doing them. Come on.
Yeah, I know.
I was talking to his mom on the phone and watching you guys talk to each other too.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we will talk more later. Let's say bye to everybody.
We'll see you guys later. Hugs and kisses. And we'll see you next week.
All right. Bye. Okay.